That was a cute video, right? Well, more than cute, it also housed a great lesson to be learned about how poor teamwork and bad communication can leave your entire group feeling exposed. I'm sure we've all been part of a group at least once in our lives, whether that be through a job or school or even sports, and we've all felt the effects of bad communication. Well, bad communication will launch you into conflict and dysfunction just as it launched those birds. Hi, I'm Maya. I'm part of Colorado Springs Improv Team Building, otherwise known as CSI Team Building. And my team and I have been part of many, many groups. Now, some of them were really phenomenal. We communicated effectively, we knew exactly what we were supposed to do, and we got our stuff done on time. And in the end, our product was spectacular. However, many groups left something to be desired. Some of the worst groups that we've been a part of weren't the ones where people didn't want to do their work out of laziness. It was the ones where they couldn't. They couldn't because we had such poor communication that we didn't know what we were supposed to be doing or how to do it or when it was due by. This left us feeling just really stressed and rushed and confused, and in the end, our product was subpar. So today, my team and I will be exploring what exactly workplace conflicts can impact, how we can turn those frowns upside down, and finally, we'll be envisioning what your company looks like after our workshops. First off, what exactly is the problem that we are trying to solve? Well, every workplace has its own unique issues, but there are some that are just universal. The first one, lack of communication. Communication is such an integral and important part of any team and any workplace, but many businesses lack effective communication. This is especially prevalent between hierarchy levels, so between employees and employers or bosses and managers. Second, internal conflicts. While human resources exist to try and settle any disputes between coworkers, they can't be there for every single one. Coworkers need the tools to be able to settle their own conflicts by themselves if HR cannot get involved. If they can settle their own conflicts, then that will create a much more positive work environment. Third, inexperienced workers. Many businesses will hire workers straight out of college, but what they don't realize is that a university will give the students a really structured regime. They know exactly what to do, how to do it, when to have it done by. But a work environment really lacks that strictness that they are so accustomed to. This leaves them just really confused and not knowing what to do. Furthermore, they don't really know how to ask for help, and that just leads to chaos in the workplace. Lastly, inability to reach resolutions. Decision-making is one of the most important parts of any group, business, or team. Good decisions and bad decisions will determine which teams and which businesses will grow and flourish and which ones will be stuck in place or even fall back. If your team does not flow together nicely, if they're not well-oiled, if they don't have that good communication and lack conflicts, then they won't be able to come to those really important decisions, and thus your company will flounder. You may feel like your company is alone in all of this, perhaps. You see all of those problems, but no other workplace is really talking about how to combat them, nevertheless that they have them. But I'm here to tell you with the numbers that almost all workplaces do in fact combat at least, or have at least some of these problems. First off, according to Eisenhower 2015, the top 3 reasons for quitting are due to communication issues and poor communication. Now this could be because employees feel like their employers aren't giving them enough positive feedback and aren't valuing their work. Thus they'll leave and go to another community where they will receive that feedback and that positive feedback. It could also be because 2 employees cannot communicate effectively, and this leads to tension. That tension will eventually compound upon itself until one of the workers is almost forced out. Second, according to Vocinovic 2020, 34% of employees are engaged at work, only 34%. That really reflects about how poor our workplace environment is if barely a third of employees come to work with the mindset to try and help their community grow and flourish. In fact, according to a 2006 Gallup management study, as seen here, only 27% of employees are actively engaged at work, and a whopping 14% are actively disengaged, meaning that 14% of employees go to work just to zone out, clock in, clock out, and go home. Lastly, according to Solomon 2016, 69% of managers are uncomfortable communicating with their employees. The reasons managers exist is to communicate with their employees, to give them direction and help solve problems. If over 2/3 of managers are uncomfortable in doing that, then the employees will just be left without direction and very confused. Businesses are built upon those lower guys, those employees that really get the job done and do most of the work. If they can't do their work and they don't know how to do their work, then that foundation and that layer will crumble and fall, and soon the entire business will follow. So more than likely, your company suffers from at least one of these problems. But hope is not lost. I will turn over to Michaela to tell you how our company can help.